Hello, everyone, and welcome to our sprint review for Yakshaver. Once this video is done, it'll end up going up here on our Yakshaver channel. So you know what happened this sprint. Our sprint goal was to sort out authentication. It's not completely done. It was split into two. Half of it's done, half of it's not done. The other one was to get this global toggle solution sorted out, which is causing us just expense at the moment, and for bigger companies it might be a problem, but that's nearly done. It's got about half day left, but still going. Stephen's working on that. So it was a full-time sprint for all 4 people. Let's get into what we did. So starting off, as I said, the authentication got split into front end and back end. The back end authentication is done, and Rick, I believe this is done the same way that they've done it in Eagle Eye. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. So Goldie recommended 2-app registration, and we implement exactly. And now we have JWT token authentication, also the API key authentication.
So, Adam, are you happy with that? I know you're pretty into the techie details. Do you want to know anything else about
that? Well, is there anything more useful to tell me?
So now the backend API are protected. So it used to open, allow anonymous call. So since now it's protected, we can ensure that the source is always coming from within SSW.
Right. Okay. All right.
Or within the client, if it's client doing it. Cool. All right. As you know, Adam, we spoke to you about the fully agentic workflow, and we've created some PBIs based on that after we got your approval for that. So this PBI here is just for the PBI generation that came out of that approval. None of those PBIs are being worked on yet. We're trying to sort out multi-tenancy first.
Right.
We noticed that sometimes PBIs, bugs, emails, etc., had inconsistent formatting. So sometimes, requested by was at the top, sometimes at the bottom, whatever. So we came up with a consistent formatting for that one, and I like it. I'll show it to you quickly because it's pretty easy to show. This is what it looks like now. So we've got requested by at the top instead of the bottom, and we've got via Yakshaver right next to it. So we don't have the tag at the bottom created by Yakshaver anymore. That's now just part of the requested by. You got the CCs, then you've got the video and URL, the meat of the PBI, and then a screenshot if relevant.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And that's consistent across PBIs, bugs, and emails. The only thing different with bugs is that there's repro steps there as well. All right. Okay, this move work item button existed on PBIs. So if you made a PBI, you could move it to a different project. The problem was sometimes it would send an email and you're like, no, I wanted that as a PBI in a project. So now there's that button exists on emails when they created as well. So I've tested this. I'll just show you what it looks like quickly. Here we go. So this created, where is it? Okay. It created an email, but then after you move it, it replaces the card with a new card. But basically this move work item exists now on emails as well. Except at the moment it says convert to work item. Are you happy with that wording? So it sends an email, and do you want to convert it to a work item, then you can.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I was picturing you. I think it's all right. Cool. So that's good because you'd get blocked otherwise. You'd have to reshave. So now you don't have to reshave. Update the project selection when moving a PBI and change OK to move work item. This is just about having more action-oriented actions on the button. So instead of like OK or whatever here for these buttons, it's always, you click, it says exactly on the button what that button is going to do. So there's no OK. It's all do it, don't do it. It's much more specific about what you're doing. That was Betty's recommendation. That make sense? So for instance, if you come up with a disambiguation option to say, change to a different project, instead of selecting the project and pressing OK, you select the project and click move work item. So it's clear from the button click what it's doing.
Okay, can I see the screenshot again?
Is it in the PBI, guys?
Cool.
Yeah, it should be in there.
I'll open it up. Yeah, so this is what it used to be, just OK and cancel.
Yep.
Now it's move PBI and cancel. So
Oh,
the action that you're doing, it's clear what you're doing from the button.
okay, cool.
Multi-tenancy. So that was again the same thing, getting your approval and then creating a bunch of PBIs to actually implement it. A lot of those are in this new sprint. Fetching PBI data from services. This was just a debugging thing that they wanted to fix up. Teams bot UI PBI number. So when you make a PBI now, it's got right here work item number blah 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 up here straight away, so you can see the PBI number in case you need that.
Great.
Oh, you may want. Normally we only talk about things that were done, but there's something that wasn't done that's getting pretty hard. You know how in Teams, if you search for Yakshaver, you get this guy. We can't hide him. We can't get rid of him. And Chris has basically said, I don't know what to do. I think I'm blocked. Can't do it.
Right.
So the solution, I think, is just to rename this to like no reply or Yakshaver, don't use this or something like that. So it's kind of clear from when you find it that this is not what you're looking for.
Right.
Are you okay with that workaround?
Yeah, don't use, I think.
Yeah, don't use. Yeah. The problem is the right one doesn't show up. So you can't actually find it in the search, which I think is a real pain. The only way you can find it is clicking here.
Right.
Which sucks. So it's fine for us because we pinned it, and it's fine if you find it yourself. But most of the time, you don't need to go to the bot. Like you record, and then the bot comes to you. But still, it's annoying.
Yeah. If there's a way of detecting if it's pinned or not, we can have a message when you open it.
Yeah. I mean, we could also in the welcome message we could say like we recommend pinning this chat.
Yes, that'd be a great idea. Yeah, same as
Okay.
Sophie bot.
Can somebody
Okay.
take a note of that?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. All right, sweet. Everything else is still in progress. It's not really worth reporting on. The only thing that is semi-interesting is this ask. You know how we changed it from toggling on and off to toggling it on and ask. So there's no off anymore. That's almost done, which I thought you might be interested in. It took a bit of refactoring to get that working, which is why it's not done yet. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, code coverage is up a tiny bit. One production release today. There was a small number of errors that were caused by recording videos that were too long. So we're going to add a check to see how big a video is before we send it to Whisper. Other than that, availability was all up. The usage this month. So it's good to see JK, Brady, Michael using it a fair bit, and all these guys as well. This is still an issue. It's in the backlog. It's in the next sprint to fix this problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of progress on the MVP and the tenanting thing. Oh, hang on, what's this? NA? That's not NA. What was our experiment? This is the most experimental project we do. What can we say was experimental this week, guys?
Sorry, I couldn't come up with some ideas.
You can do it after this email.
Yeah, okay. All right. We'll need to add something. Basic retro notes. There's a fair bit of refactoring going on, which is a bit of a pain, but in general, everyone's stoked that the two big approvals have come through, which is how to do tenanting and the agentic workflow thing. So that's kind of cool. I'll switch over to planning. So we've got, we're losing Rick this next sprint, and Lewis is going to try his hand at Scrum Mastering. He hasn't done the Scrum course, but we're going to try and talk him through it, see how he goes.
How many sprints is Rick off to client work?
4 sprint, 4 weeks.
4 sprints. Okay.
So the plan for the next sprint is multi-tenancy. Two of the prerequisite PBIs for multi-tenancy, which I think will get us about a third of the way through the multi-tenancy. Is that correct, guys? There was about 6 PBIs all up.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is a 16. It was an 8 before, but because Lewis is doing it and he's not sure how, and this is kind of his first big PBI, we've doubled the estimate because we think it'll take a little longer. Ask is almost done, half a day away. Front-end authentication is the other half of authentication that didn't get done in this last sprint. Leaderboard showing ID, that's the bug we just talked about. And sugar learning item on Yakshaver. What is that?
That's
Rick?
the thing
Tutorial.
I sent you the tutorial on using it, and then like a task.
Oh, right.
to
Yes.
use
Okay. So
Yakshava.
Lewis has actually already written this, but I wanted the generic information to be on the Yakshava site about like how to use Teams to do a recording and stuff like that. So that's in progress. And the three new sugar learning items have been written, but I wanted a bunch of the material moved to the Yakshava site and linked to. Is that still a 4? I didn't think there was much left on that.
I can probably be a 2.
Because the content's already there, it's just putting it in a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Don't forget to update the PBI itself.
Yeah, I'm doing it in the background.
You got
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, so guys, that is everything.
Hold on, Yui. Just
Yep.
two other things.